Alright, nothing better than coming home from a long day at work. Time to do some unboxings. First one here is Evike. Second one over here is from eBay. And what do we got first? Interesting. This is a Piston Head. It's a super shooter, but I think they said SHS. Piston Head. Anyways, this is an interesting little box here. Let's go ahead and open that up. It's a super shooter Piston Head. I'm just going to rip this open because my fingers are frozen. I just want to open this dang thing fast. Oh, come on. Just open up. Like everything else opens except for what I want to come out. Thank you. Alright, so that's how it's packaged. Interesting. It is very interesting. Yeah, this is very interesting. Look at that. What's that in the center there? I don't know what's going on with that. It's a double O-ring piston head. Now I've kind of laughed at when I first saw one of these, but I wanted to test out and see if these were very viable at all, which I'm pretty sure I can already tell you it does not look viable, because look at this O-ring right here, and then look at how thin this is. I mean, that is thin for the first O-ring in the front. I mean, we're talking extremely thin, so I don't really believe in this one. Maybe the other piston head would have been better, but this is the one I saw that said SHS, and I think it was 15 bucks, and I thought I'd just try it out. I don't know. It's just very interesting. Alright, so there's that. And then the more interesting thing here. Yes, I don't usually buy crummy parts, but I thought I would kind of look things over. You don't need to see that. So, here we go, Evike. Is there anything in this? Why do they baggage this up? Sometimes there's stuff in them. However, in this one, I think this one's empty. They just... Nope, not empty. It's another GMP bucking. These seem to fit well from my Polestar, so I've actually got 3 or 4 extra for whatever other reason, so that's empty. Alright. Open this up. And what is it? You gotta be kidding, Zach. You buy a Matrix full tune-up kit. It was like 60 bucks with a 20% off. I thought, what the hell, might as well try it. This is kind of cool, made in China. It's really dirty. I'm not kidding when I say that. It looks like it's got some shrink wrapped inside. But we do see some metal parts, and things do look pretty good. Things do look pretty good. Alright, so there's the other stuff we got here. Got a nice new version 3 tappet plate in case I ever want to just hook up for regular sector instead of the dual sector. And then this is just a Murray bucking, I think. Yeah. And then the Prometheus bucking. So I've just kind of collected so many buckings now that I have, like, I don't know, maybe 10 different buckings. I've just been holding on to them. Okay, so what we want to see is definitely this. So let's check this thing out. Let's see how nice it is for the about $50 something you pay to get this. So, and I'm not even going to bother. If this is hard to open, I'm just going to clip things, and that's going to be that. Oh man. It's hard to do anything when you got frozen fingers, though. I can't even open this, so I'm just going to rip it apart. Doesn't even want to move. There we go. Ah, let's see what we got here. Now this is interesting. Very much so. Wow, this is actually might be quite impressive. It's got that new sneaker smell to it. Yeah, you can smell it all the way back here. And it looks like they have foam glued that in. Anyways, let's start taking out things here. We got, looks like some kind of grease. Matrix silicone grease for gears. Really? And silicone grease for piston. Okay, I'll probably be throwing those out. From a tech aspect, the grease that I have now is going to be way better probably than those. Can't get these things out. Here is the metal O-ring, air nozzle, and wow, it looks actually quite nice. How well is it machined? It's machined pretty nicely. It looks really nice. I mean, this looks chrome plated here, so let's grab this cylinder head. And wow, cylinder head looks really nice. The thickness in this area is really good compared to, I've seen super thin. This is quite alright. It doesn't feel like it's going to break anytime soon. And abrasive material that they have here, it's glued on here. It's actually quite rubber-like. It's pretty nice too. So you can see this makes it kind of look chrome plated. Oh wow, the seal on this is going to be amazing. Wow, you can see that as I put that on there. Okay, so this looks kind of dirty. Maybe it's just the discoloration of the cylinder. Cylinder's a little discoloration. No, it looks like dirt too. Anyways, the inside looks really nice. There's some markings inside of the cylinder. Not too bad. Not too bad. So let's go ahead and put that on there and see how. And it's not too thin either. I like to see parts that are not thin on their width and stuff. I want to see them last. Okay, so that fits on there actually pretty nicely, and look down the center. So I gotta say, that's actually pretty good, impressive. I mean, the parts feel pretty good. Alright, so let's take out the other stuff we can get out here. They've got them stuck in here pretty well. This is actually pretty nice for shipping this way. If I can't get them out. And this foam is really durable. I mean, this is hardcore for shipping wise. I mean, where it's thick right here, it's really nice. That's not too bad. Alright, sorry about that. I had to answer the phone. So here's the piston. And you can see that the rack comes out and it's metal. It doesn't look too bad. It looks actually pretty good, but they probably painted this over to kind of hide the material, I would think. I don't know, but it feels pretty damn solid. There was already greasing in here. I don't know why, and on the tooth rack too, you can see that. There's like no point in greasing that area. So I put this in here. It looks pretty dang reinforced. I don't think these parts are breaking down anytime soon very easily. The back might bust out, but that's all going to depend on how hard your spring is. It's pretty thick. This is actually a pretty okay piston. Okay, so here's the piston head. And all I can say is, wow. Nice job on the front. Trying to get the O-ring off real quick. There's a little, looks like tiny little shavings that could be taken out. Look, it's got some kind of locking mechanism right there. But this looks pretty darn good. So the question is going to be, You know, does it seal up in here? It looks like a tight fit. Look at this. If I can get it in there. Wow. It's a really, really tight fit. So I'll put that on a piston and test it in just a moment. Alright, so we're going to look here. It says matrix 18:1. And it's got a delay clip right here. The delay clip seems like it's in the right location from what I can tell you from just looking at it. So go in here, check it closely. I don't see anything wrong with this gear. And just says matrix on the back, 18:1. Looks alright. And then here's the bevel gear, and this seems to be very similar. It's got some discoloration. You can see the discoloration on it right there. Seems to be similar. This seems to be very similar. I wouldn't be surprised if these came from the core set, because it looks so similar. And then right here, the thickness is about the same as the core, and I would say it looks to be exact same. I'll bring those gears over here and kind of compare. And this is matrix 18:1 here. And again, this looks very similar to the other one. Alright, so here's the spring and spring guide. Oh wow, this spring is, I'm not sure if this is an M100, M120, I don't remember. But it seems to be very crappy. I'm going to say right off. This feels like plastic. I barely feel any type of metal in this, and it just is really, really crappy. I mean, it doesn't have anything to it. You can see there's a screw here. It holds inside this. You may want to red Loctite that. And that holds the bearings in the back here. I've heard that similar ones like this falling apart. I could probably believe that. But yeah, this spring is kind of just whatever, not really that great. This is probably okay. I like having bearings. However, this relies spinning wise on this shaft right here. Okay, so the bearings are moving these pieces right here, moving this shaft, and this is what moves right here. I don't usually like that. I like the bearings to be outside, but whatever. At least this can rotate. It's just if you tighten this down here, then this can't rotate, and you'd be screwing yourself over and not having any bearings in the back. The back's where you need them if you don't want to have bearings. There's some kind of locking mechanism thing in there, again, like a little lock clip. I don't know how well we can see that on here. Anyways, back screw, drill hole does not look too bad. The threads, excuse me. Trying to think of the right word to say there. Does this seem viable? I don't know. This doesn't feel as good quality, definitely. I think where the quality was dropped off was definitely these two pieces right here. I really don't see this even being a reliable spring. People might say springs are springs, but I've seen them bend up and get really bad regardless and snap. I've seen springs snap, so this feels really like if you left this compressed, it would compress the spring over the day. I mean, that's what it feels like. It feels like if I was to compress this and leave it like that and come back and it's really compressed that bad. I mean, that's how it feels. It feels it doesn't have any power to it. This just not only feels light, but it just doesn't feel like it's very reliable in my input on that. Okay, so let's bring up the other parts to see how these do. Okay, so let's go ahead. Here's the gearbox shell for a G&G. It's just a spare. And just some other parts. So I've got the cam up, or excuse me, that's the cutoff. Gear spins pretty nicely by itself. kind of try to feel and see how much space it has. It looks like it fits right in the bearings and axles. Excuse me, the axles do fit in the bearings and the bushings very easily. It's not too much wobble, so it seems to be very nicely fitting in there. Have to say, pretty impressed on the spinning part by itself. Now let's put them together and see how well. Of course there's going to be friction without shimming it, but I'm just checking to see if they even spin very well between teeth. And right away I can tell you that there is friction, but I can tell you they spin well between the teeth. You can just tell from watching me rotate it. So not too bad. You can see a huge discoloration on the bevel gear. It just doesn't look too great, but who cares as long as it performs, right? You're not going to be seeing the inside of your gearbox on the field. So as far as I have to say, I'll have to compare those with the core gears. Okay, so next is getting the piston head on the piston. And I'm not sure what you call this. Some kind of locking. Not sure what you call these rings, lock rings or something, but I've only seen these for gearboxes. I haven't seen them on the piston head and the spring guide inside there. Okay, so go ahead and put these in here. If I can get them up there. I'm already having an issue of them not fitting well. It's like it's stuck. Okay, I'm going to try that again for a second time. You can see there's brass right here by the rings, but the balls, excuse me, ball bearings, but who really cares about that, right? That's not something that usually breaks down. This is a really tight fit. Still not too bad. I've got to do this just to get it up there. Again, look, I cannot go up easily. So I had to really force that. Question is the spring going to be able to rotate? So there's some kind of deformity inside that's, well, it could be a deformity or it could just be it's not the right size as it gets closer to the piston head. Okay, just hand tightening. Look down there, and what it looks like it could be is down by the teeth rack down here is what is causing it not to go in very easily. So I put this in. I don't feel anything wrong, so I don't think that will be an issue. Anyways, just to show, yeah, this spring is real flimsy. That's a real flimsy spring. This doesn't look bad though. So we're going to go ahead and try this on the set here. And all I'm going to say is it's already stuck. Yeah. Going to have to really let that O-ring shrink. Wow. It's almost like I don't know what to say on this. I mean, this is absolutely terrible on this part. Maybe you find yourself a shrunk O-ring and you're okay to go. You want to go backwards on your upgrading and you're repairing. Well, not repairing, excuse me. You're going to be downgrading. This is the word I wanted to use. So yeah, that shit won't even go in there. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. Let's try this O-ring from here. I have other O-rings to test, but I just want to do a quick test. Get the damn thing off. Alright, so this definitely looks about the exact same size, but I think this one's a little tinier in my opinion. It looked like it, and I was right. It's a little bit tinier. This O-ring, I'm not getting any compression. I feel lots of air falling behind the piston head. So that O-ring's not going to cut it. Let's get another O-ring. Okay, so with another O-ring, and this is even pretty tight, but as soon as you put your finger on the air nozzle, wow, this is really solid. I mean, of course, dimensions is everything, and this dimension is out of the box not good, but once it shrinks, maybe it will be good. So there's a demonstration with that. Again, look, you can't get it in there, and then once you do, you can't even move it. I mean, this is terrible. It's going to have all kinds of friction. So let's take out this piston head, and let's try out the one that I got from eBay. Alright, sorry about that. My mom came in, she had to do some stuff, so you can see this does not fit at all. Maybe I'll fit another cylinder with that type of piston head. So I was going to check these gears. So here's the core gears. And right away they look, I have to say, identical. For the most part. Here you can see this one has brass in the center area here, and this one doesn't have it in the same way. But these look pretty much identical. So here's the Spur Gear. And again, these look pretty much identical. The only difference here is this one has some grease on it. And then the bevel, this will be the biggest difference, is because this one's not discolored while the other one is. It's got definitely a nice discoloration, but the bottom looks a tad bit different. Maybe it's just me. Nope, it's not just me. These black teeth right here on this one are a tiny bit smaller. We're talking so small you can only see it to the naked eye if you zoom up on it. And then this one here is a little bit bigger. Yep, definitely. But other than that, the gears look to be identical to core. So I'm going to say these are core gears, or pretty much all the same gears. I mean, this has got a really nasty bad color discoloration to it. So definitely core-like there. Alright, so next thing I want to see is my core gear didn't come with the delay clip. However, the Matrix did. So we kind of wanted to see how this will move on the tappet plate here, and from what I can tell you, it seems to be very good. Yeah, so it's gonna move. This tap-up cam here is gonna work very well with the delay clip that's on it, from what it looks like. And then we couldn't test the. That has got a really nice, I have to say that's one of the best seals I've seen between the cylinder head and the air nozzle. I was going to test the piston head, but we could see that it didn't even fit in there. It doesn't even fit in there, so no use in testing the air nozzle compression there, but I'm very positive going to be very nice. But what I can say is, you know, it'd be great if you got a tappet plate and some bushings, and then I would say, wow, it's worth it. But I don't know, this spring is really crappy. I don't feel so comfortable with this, and the piston head not fitting. But other than that, everything else is pretty okay, pretty nice. So I'll catch you guys later.